What's going on, everybody? My name is Bobby, and I'm just another reactor here on YouTube. And today I'm going to be reacting to Eskimo Call Boy featuring Sasha, and this is Hypa Hypa, the official video. But before I get to this reaction, I just want to remind you all to please subscribe to my channel, and please like this video. And if you care to support my channel, there's a PayPal link in the description, or you can leave a tip through the Brave browser, which is a cryptocurrency browser. You can even donate through the Cash App using my email address, which is also in the description below. But donations to my channel are not necessary, they're not required. You can watch my videos for free, but any support for my channel is greatly appreciated. Now, a few days ago, I reacted to Hypa Hypa by Eskimo Call Boy, the official video, and it got blocked. And I filed a dispute, and it was blocked for I don't know a couple of days, and then they finally released it. And it hasn't gotten very many views since then, and it only has one comment. And in that comment, this person recommended in order the versions of Hypa Hypa I should react to, and this was his first recommendation. And he says about it, this person's name is Eric Fisher. Eric says that this version featuring Sasha feels like you could send it back to the 80s and it would be a hit. And it's good enough that if you were told that it was the original and Eskimo Call Boy's version was a metal parody, you would believe it. So apparently, according to Eric Fisher, this version is a really good version if you were back in the 80s and maybe even now. I'm going to be honest with you, as far as decades in music go, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, now 2020s. As far as decades go, the 70s is my favorite decade for rock music and music in general. The 80s is probably my least favorite decade for music, even though a lot of great stuff came out in that decade. But there was just a lot of stuff I didn't like. There's certain 80s sounds that I'm just not too crazy about, honestly. I don't want to name any bands, but yeah, just a lot of stuff about the 80s that I just wasn't too crazy about. And even bands that I really liked growing up in the 70s, like let's say Judas Priest, I'll name them. I love a lot of Judas Priest music from the 70s. Some of their 80s stuff, not all of it, but some of it, not so much. But then they have some great albums from the 80s, like Screaming for Vengeance. So anyway, that's my full disclosure there. Not a big fan of certain styles of 80s music. So if this sounds anything like one of those styles, but if it's got humor, who knows. Hypa Hypa, I'm going to say the original version by Eskimo Call Boy. It was different. I wasn't expecting it, but it was cool. It was fun. Those heavy parts were really badass. The video was funny. It was kind of crazy. I've listened to it a couple of times since then, and it's growing on me. My first impression of it was I just didn't know what to make of it, but it was pretty fun to watch, and the heavy parts were really cool. So I don't know what they're going to do here. Hopefully it's going to be fun. Hopefully I'll like it, even if it's got that 80s style to it, but we'll see. So without further ado, this is my reaction to Eskimo Call Boy featuring Sasha. And by the way, I don't even know who Sasha is. The only Sasha I can think of is Sacha Baron Cohen, which is Borat, but I don't think it's going to be him. Anyway, this is my reaction to their version of Hypa Hypa. I'm guessing that's Sasha.
On the floor, anytime you hit the club, your body moves, hypnotize me.
Okay, so first of all, the thing I like about this version is it's pretty different from the original, which is what I expected, but I just like that they did that. I didn't think it was going to be almost an exact copy of the original. It's pretty funny so far that they're on the skating rink. These other two guys came falling out of there. I like that they have the same girl from the original video. That's pretty cool too. The sound of it, the style of it is kind of the style that I was describing that I really wasn't too crazy about in the 80s. A lot of bands had that kind of sound. I can't even think of the bands back then, that there were so many that had that type of like dance music type sound to it. I don't even know, I guess it's a keyboard playing that type of sound, but this doesn't sound too bad. This guy sings really well, whoever he is. He's got a good voice. The two guys behind him, they're just kind of being silly. But yeah, it's not a bad version. I'm actually enjoying it. You know, like I said, I'm not too crazy about this style of music, but it's not bad. Honestly, I really am enjoying it.
Turn the light. I wanna rip off your clothes now, baby. Turn the lights. You're alone on the dance floor, baby. Turn the light. I wanna rip off your clothes now, baby. Turn the lights. Hypa, hypa, you're pretty.
Okay, so that was Eskimo Call Boy featuring Sasha with their version of Hypa Hypa. And I will say, when I reacted to the original version of this song, that song was stuck in my head for quite a while because I was editing it and all that, and man, it just got stuck in my head, and it's going to happen again. Whether you like the style of whatever version you're listening to, and I'm going to react to the other versions eventually later, this chorus is very catchy, and it's one of those, what they call, I guess, earworms that just gets stuck to your head. It's a really cool song. Can't wait to see all the other versions of it. I heard there's even like a country version or something like that. But yeah, that was actually pretty cool. Even though the 80s was not my favorite decade for certain styles of music, it does bring back a lot of memories because I was in my late teens and early to late 20s throughout the 80s. So yeah, it does bring back a lot of memories of, you know, things in my life that were going on, because I had a lot of friends that were really into that kind of music, you know, and I was more into like thrash metal and heavy metal, like Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, Slayer, Megadeth, Iron Maiden and Metallica, stuff like that. I was getting into all that kind of stuff. So yeah, good memories, good song, funny video. I don't know what he was skating on when he had his two legs up. I don't know if he had some skates on his butt or what, but anyway, I know that was just a gag, but it was pretty funny. So anyway, that's my reaction. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I just want to remind y'all again to please subscribe to my channel, and please like this video. And if you care to support my channel, there's a PayPal link in the description, or you can leave a tip through the Brave browser, which is a cryptocurrency browser. You can even donate through the Cash App using my email address, which is also in the description below. But donations to my channel are not necessary, they're not required. You can watch my videos for free, but any support for my channel is greatly appreciated. Thank you all once again for watching my reaction to Eskimo Call Boy featuring Sasha and their version of Hypa Hypa.